reverse reverb this sucker. So yeah, this is in Pro Tools. This is how you would print out the audio. So you go to Audio Suite. You can pick whatever plugin. Reverse reverbs. I love Little Plate. That shit works its wonders. And then I'm just gonna make like a selection over here. So this selection right here, like whatever plugin I'm running on this little clip, whenever I print out the effects, it's gonna print out this whole entire selection. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna see what it sounds like. Alright, don't like that one. Alright, I like that one. Actually, let me kind of EQ it some more. Alright, there we go. Alright, print that out. And then I'll go back to Audio Suite and reverse it. And then that's how I'm able to get reverse reverbs. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now you gotta kind of like cut the end of it, kind of. Actually, I kind of want to reverb that bitch out, Valhalla, so it's not like super fucking dry. Alright, cool. And then I just want to fade this part. Let that bitch build in. And then turn that shit down. Alright, cool. I like how that sound is not too loud, not too quiet. Just want it to be felt, not heard, you know what I mean? You're running all the instruments on its own aux, separate from the low end. I don't know if I missed it. So instrument wise is this red section. Let me kind of lower. Yeah, so these instruments over here, the Rhodes chords, the Rhodes high melody, the string melody, the RC20 effect, which is like a vinyl dust, and then the tag is all being sent to this main music. And what I got going on is these first three plugins is me emulating analog summoning or running into analog. So with the VMR, I'm basically running it into an SSL board, and I'm getting that overdrive, and then I'm sending it to harmonics to add more texture or more saturation, and then I'm running it into tape, and then it gets sent back to the board if you actually had the hardware, you know what I'm saying? And then on the right side, I have effects going on. So I have RC20. I'm kind of adding that noise in there, but it's like real subtle. I'm just giving the instruments like an old vinyl feel, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm doing mid-side EQ. It looks like complicated, but it's mad simple. So if you have Pro Q3, you can do mid-side EQ. So basically what I'm doing is like the M stands for mid or mono. So in the mono section, of the instruments, I'm dipping -6 dB at 2K so that my vocals can fit in this little slot right here. And then since his voice is so up close to the mic and it's deep and all these frequencies are popping out, I'm making space for it. You know what I'm saying? So both of these are in the mono section. These are getting dipped in the mono so that the vocals can have that 300 to 2K range space. And then, like I said, I was giving the instruments that old feeling, so I didn't want any crazy high end sound to it. I kind of wanted to just dumb it down so that his vocals can pop out more. You can listen to any Drake song, and this is what 40 does, or 40 he uses lo-fi, but you know what I'm saying? If you want to have space for the artist, you can shave off some of that high end frequency. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how your instrumentation is laid out. Kai Porter, what up, man? So yeah, main music, this channel. Oh, and I also have a music P comp. So if I feel like a sound needs to pop out more in the mix, I'm actually gonna run it on the string melody track because I felt like it's there, but it's not there. So I'm gonna go to my send, and then I'm gonna go music P comp. So you see that it's sending over here. So it's like my drip. It's my drip fader. You know what I'm saying? Like Jason Joshua says, the drip fader. So this is like what I'm adding back with this music parallel compression. I don't want to add any low end because that's where the drums are at. It's like some technical shit. So see, yeah, it adds a different texture, bro. It's like crazy. So I can actually, if something sounds thin, run parallel saturation, parallel compression, whatever the fuck you want to run on that bitch. Run it. You feel me? You're gonna say stream. It's a storm, and I know I missed a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I'm most likely not gonna save it, but I'm always gonna go back to some of these songs I mix and go over what I'm actually doing. So you know what I mean. So I can actually feel those strings, but they're not loud though. So I noticed that the waveform is like hella huge over here, but basically I let me unfreeze this because I want to cut a certain part of that. But basically since I don't have any instruments going on, I can probably go like 6 dB, so or like 4, so it's not like drastic. And then let me turn my automation down 4 as well. But since there's no instruments going on, it's like a crazy breakdown. I wanted those strings to pop out more. So honestly, I would probably put this at 0. And let me see. I probably can. No, let me just delete that automation. So this is where music, the parallel compression, this plugin right here, this is where this comes in handy. So I can turn the output of what's going on with the strings. The strings is only running through this plugin. So well, my drip fader is, I could adjust how much I want this in your face. You know what I'm saying? The more I go up, the more in your face is gonna be. So what I'm gonna do is, let me go 32, which is where I originally had it. Okay, bet. I like how that sounds. So what is this, the output gain? So I'm gonna actually automate this section right here. Alright, let's see. Alright, bet I got a deal. Just wanted to support, see how you doing. Stay safe, my dog. Appreciate you. Yeah, so this is why I love messing with the stems, is because you can, like, I call parallel compression steroids, you know what I'm saying? Without the side effects, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, if something sounds thin, you can just add steroids to it, you know what I'm saying? So this is at let me see. So this string part is gonna come in. This is at 32 dB. I'm gonna stop it here. Let me All right, so I want to go like 28. So what's that? So that's like 4 more dB on this MV plugin. So you see it's at like 28 when it gets to that breakdown, and then it goes back to 32 in the hook. So I'm gonna see how it sounds. How you know when your mix is perfect, or it just depends on personal preference, or how do you want it to sound? I mean, cause I'll listen to the reference, and I'll basically go wherever they left off. I'm gonna take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I might have artists be like, "Yo, just do your thing." I might have artists that, you know what I mean, they're real specific on, oh, could you take this part out? Could you? And then over time I work with certain artists, I kind of know what they do like and what they don't like. So it's just easier for me to navigate, you know what I'm saying? And then I also save their vocal change. I always save their presets. You know what I mean? So I can spend less time trying to, you know what I'm saying, be surgical with their vocals. And obviously they could record at different studios, different microphone, different room. They could have a different voice that day. You know what I'm saying? But I always adjust. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I feel like this part needs like more, since it's like a fade in. I'm gonna actually go 24. Let me see how that sounds. So now we're going 6 dB. If you really real, and I've been on my job, you ain't on your ground, and you ain't on my side, you ain't on my side. I was creeping you up, I can make it pretty still. All right, lovely. I like how that's actually. I'm gonna probably go like 2 dB down more. It's not really like drastic, but you know what I mean. The way I approach certain sounds is I want it to be felt, not heard. You know what I mean? Alright, so this shit is... We're going to freeze this one. This one's already good. Mix bus chain. Your levels for everything look pretty low, but it's all sounding pretty loud. Gain structure. Yeah, so the beat, I didn't have to turn down anything. I was already some good levels. So yeah, I just ran it through all my processing, and you know, obviously my drums are like a pretty aggressive. I like being aggressive on my drum processing. So yeah, basically my drums is being sent to C drums, and then I have these aux channels for my drums being sent all the way up here. Because if I was to send all these 4 channels or anything drum related to here, it would be squashed. You know what I'm saying? I would be losing my transients. If I sent my hi-hats to the C drums, I would lose. It would be ducked because I have all this crazy processing for my drums. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically kind of mastering my drums, and then when I have the transformer tracks, I can run it on my percussion and kind of give it steroids, basically. Or AKA parallel compression. Or parallel saturation, however you want to call it. The more you study up on harmonics and saturation, the more you'll know about having that. When people ask like, yo, I need that mix to sound full, they're talking about saturation. Saturation in harmonics. You know what I'm saying? And then over here, I have my safety nets. So everything that's below the all effects tab, this channel and all the way below, all of these are my safety nets. So all my effects in these green channels is being sent to this all effects. This is being sent to mix bus. You know what I'm saying? All the vocals being sent to the red channel acapella. And the cool thing about having safety nets is you can EQ the whole entire vocals. Like anything vocal related, you can EQ it. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. You can give it a different texture. And then this is being sent to mix bus. You know what I'm saying? These yellow tracks are kind of like subgroups. So like for the beat channel up here, under the beat channel, I have all drums, all music. I have a 2-track, but I'm not using the MP3 beat, so I could just go ahead and take that shit off and shit. You know what I'm saying? I can take those off because I'm not using that. And then whenever I'm mixing, I can mute the drums. If I'm like trying to solo out something, I could just mute the drums. How much mix and master in a song? It depends. I have different options, so just hit me in the DMs. If you just want to do the drums and vocals, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it easier. If I have all these safety nets, it makes it easier. If I don't want to hear the acapella and effects, I can just mute that. You know what I'm saying? If I want to just hear how the effects sound, this is just straight effects of what's going on in the song. I can hear it. Acapella's dry. So all these layers are separate. And then also with the analog shit. So let me turn some light on in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So if you have analog gear, right, and you do like analog stem mastering, I can literally bounce out my drums, bounce out the instruments, bounce out the acapella, bounce out the effects. I can actually bounce those out. I could run each of... Hold on, let me turn all these on real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. So, yeah. So I can literally run each of those layers into my SSL Fusion, and I can make it sound good in here, give it that extra texture, and send it right back to Pro Tools. Let me go run the drums through here. Let me, you know what I'm saying, add what's missing and give it a different dimension. You feel me? And then I could send the effects of the whole song through here, and I can space out my effects and give it, you know what I'm saying? Basically put the listener into the artist world. You know what I mean? It's just mad simple, but it's like complex. You feel me? And then once I have all these layers printed through this and back, then that's when I can master the whole entire song, send it back to the compressor, and then send it to the Fusion, and then back to Pro Tools. And then I run my digital plugins, and then I print out the whole song, and that's when you have analog master. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, this shit is now I know why these hardwares are like so expensive, is because, you know what I mean, it's the same shit as buying an expensive ass car. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're paying for. You feel me? And then also, if I want to turn down, because you see that my beat is damn near like at 0, you feel me? So I could literally I have like an SSL plugin on each of these red channels, and I can literally like turn the fader down over here. Be like, all right, I'm gonna just turn it down -6 so that I have more headroom for my master. But then at the same time, I have an SSL plugin here. I could just turn down the whole song. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're clipping, it's not always bad. There's a good clip and there's a bad clipping. You feel me? So if my drums are clipping, when you clip any type of hardware, you put it in overdrive. It gives it an extra texture. You feel me? So if I want to keep that texture, I'm not going to turn down anything here. I'm going to just if I still want to keep that clipping on there, that aggressive feeling from the drums, I can literally turn down the whole master. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really messing with the feeling of my layers. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can just turn the whole entire song down with the SSL shit. I can brighten the song up. I can add more low end. You know what I mean? So when you have all these safety nets or these layers right here, you can do so much, bro. Like, you don't have to do all the technical shit in just this one track. You can literally route everything and be like, oh, okay, I want to run a compressor, or I want to run a multi-band compressor on the acapella to get more control of the vocals. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you running a fucking multi-band compression on each of these layers, you can run it on top of all that shit with just one of these channels. You know what I mean? So it saves you on CPU power as well. You know what I mean? And then on my beat, I have the mono section of it. I have it dipped around 4K so that the vocals can fit more in that pocket. And I can probably let me see. I can probably add a dip around so his vocals can fit in that pocket some more. Let me go like let me tighten that one. I'm gonna go like 2, and then I'm gonna go. Hold me down like you really care, and I can really tell if you really real. And I've been on my job, you ain't on your grind, and you ain't on my side, you ain't on my side. I was script if you were acting, you get pretty still. So yeah, the low end of his vocals gonna fit right there, and then the high end of his vocals gonna fit right there. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Once you print, does it show up as 2 separate channels? All right, so I have a stereo audio channel. So like whenever I'm done mastering, I can literally like print out the whole. I can play the whole song and it'll print the what I have going on in these 2 channels. So everything's being routed to the mix bus, and then it gets sent here, and then I can print the whole entire song out. Now, oh, if I mess up, okay, I could just go back and boop, check this shit out. Sometimes when I print out the song, it'll stop the playback because my laptop's getting hot, so I could just always punch back in for the mastering. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, I missed this part. You know what I mean? And then I can literally like merge them together, merge these clips or whatever together. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, but we're not doing that though. But this shit sounds good, and it's not even mastered yet, bro. That's the point you want to get to. You know what I mean? It's like you want to do all the heavy lifting in the mixing, and then want the mastering, you just polishing that motherfucker. You feel me? Let me turn. Turn down -3. All right, now I'm about to master that motherfucker. So now I'll explain my mastering chain. So it's complex, but it's mad simple. So, yeah, basically what I got going on here is I'm basically emulating the Isotope Ozone 4 plugin. You know, that shit came out decades ago. So they got Ozone 9 now. So basically I'm emulating the same settings as Jason Joshua's mastering chain, but I'm using different plugins, but it's all in this one plugin, because the algorithm that they had on Ozone 4 is like you had the entire mastering shit, you had all the options into one plugin, and then you get to adjust the amount you wanted to add. You know what I'm saying? So like you can go crazy on the compression, and then you could basically do parallel compression and kind of back off of it. You know what I'm saying? So my first plugin is the SSL. So like before I hit my compression and saturation and shit, I'll fix what I need to do, or I'll add whatever is missing. And you know what I'm saying? I'll just do it through here. If I need to turn it down, I'll just use this fader. And then I'm hitting my Ozone 4 emulation, and I'm running a Millennia EQ. This is kind of like Avalon EQ. I think it's a 2055. And basically, I have the option to brighten up the whole song. If the song needs more low end, I can add that. You know what I mean? Basically, I have less options. So instead of using like a FabFilter EQ, I like to use these EQs, and it sounds more musical. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be super surgical. You know what I mean? It's just, if it needs more brightness, I can just add it back in. If the highs are too sharp, I can go 21K and then shave it down. You know what I mean? So I have so many options, but less options. You know what I'm saying? And then also, I'm running into the Neutron 3 exciter, which gives me another layer of saturation. And then I'm running like 3 bands. And then you also get to decide, like, if you want a full sound, if you want a more defined, if you want a clear sound. You know what I'm saying? And then the parallel change, this is where I go crazy on the compression, but I back it off. And I kind of gain stage it as well. It's like ridiculous as fuck how loud it is. So whenever I get here, it's a certain number that I like to hit on each of these bands. You know what I'm saying? So on my low end, I like to hit 3 RMS, 3 to 4 RMS, and then here like 6 RMS. And then on the high end, I like to kiss it 1 dB maybe. I like to be at 0.5, but you know what I'm saying? With this EQ, I'll kind of shape how, you know what I'm saying, how I want to come in with it. And then with this plugin, I'll be clipping here. I'll clip the fuck out this plugin, but I'll back off of it. You know what I mean? And it'll just give me another layer of saturation and harmonics. You know what I mean? So I'm hitting like 2 dB. So this is where I can go to the EQ and boost that frequency. Who's that on the vocals? My boy Jaron Randolph, my dog. He was in here the first time I went live. And then the producer is Cook Beats, the one with the pinned comment. Follow him. So I'm getting about 3 RMS. All right, there we go. So my EQ on the low end is good, and then the mid range. So this is about like 3 between 5, which is fine. Then we got the high end. All right, so it's barely kissing 0.5, so I don't have to add anything on this high end. It's perfectly fine. And then, so now this is like this is the compression that's going on, the crazy shit. So I'm gonna show y'all my levels. So what I like to do is, whenever I'm clipping on the output of this plugin, I like to be at like 4 dB plus above 0. So what I'll do is I'll go over here and I'll turn the knob. So let me see. I'm at 1.3, basically 1 dB above 0. So I'm going to go like 2 dB and see how it sounds. 3. All right, so now that I turned the volume up, I got to go back to my EQ and kind of get back to those same levels. Because when you turn the input of this plugin up, it started compressing more. So I still want to hit those numbers, you know what I'm saying? So the low end, I want to hit 3 RMS. Let me see. Okay, so I really didn't need to add any EQ. All right, this is perfectly fine. The high end. So 1 dB. So you see on the output of this plugin, I'm like going 4 dB above 0. And it's perfectly fine. I'm just overdriving it. You feel me? And then where we mix in what that craziness is, we go over here and we put the mix at 50%. So it's like basically you have this song, right? And with this one is you have this fucking squished layer of like what's going on here, and I'm adding steroids to it. You feel me? That's basically what I'm doing. Is with the mix, the more mix I put in, the more steroids. But I want it at 50%, you know what I'm saying? So that it's not super. So it just makes, when you turn it off, you lose that body. You lose the life of the record just off this one plugin. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, I'll go. So you see that on this plugin, I was going plus 4 dB. I'm gonna go negative 4.5, so that I'm at around 0 dB, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm on an imager plugin, so you see I'm already clipping at least 1 dB. So what I'll do is I'll go negative. I'm gonna say -2, or really like negative. Let me go negative 3, because whenever I go to the next plugin, I'm gonna be compressing again. I'm compressing the whole entire song. So on here, I'm just gluing everything together. I'm just doing 2 dB of gain reduction. Like I said, it's to be felt, not heard. So you see my gain reduction is 1.5. So whatever I'm losing here, I'm gonna add it back on the gain. So I'm gonna just go 2 dB. And you see that my peak is at like -3. So whenever I add 2 back in, I'll be close to 1. You feel me? So it's like when you gotta gain stage the fuck out of the master and shit. You feel me? To get more effect out of your plugins. You know what I'm saying? Then I have low end focus. So now that on my master and shit, I'm running it through all this compression, I'm losing something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically adding back that low end around 20 between 70 hertz. I'm adding that low end back in. So you see that I'm peaking at 0.8. I'm gonna probably go 0.5 above, just so I'm like super close to 0, and then that's when I hit the limiter and turn the output to 0.5, and then turn up the gain 5 dB, get like 5 dB gain reduction. And it might look like it's like clipping super bad, but you basically want to get loud before you get here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna turn the gain at 0, and I'm gonna just play it from the beginning so I can show y'all that it's damn near at 0 before I hit the limiter. So we have 1.5, 1.1. 0.6, 0.5. So I'm already at the top of my output. So if it goes above 0.05, it's getting chopped off already. So now I like my master super loud. So I'm going to go 5 dB on my gain reduction. And the reason why I like this plugin is because you can keep your transients. I compared it to the L2. I feel like the L2 is shaving my shit off. So with Pro Ls, you can change different types of styles. You know what I'm saying? If you want a transparent limiter, you can do that. If you want the song punchy, dynamic, all around. If you want it aggressive. If you want, I like it. This is the stock setting. And the only thing that I'm changing is my gain and my output. That's it. And I have it at true peak limiting. So it's going to shave off anything going above 0.5 is getting that shit shaved off. You feel me? So let's see how it's what numbers we hitting. So my loudness is at like 15, 14. And my gain reduction, I haven't even engaged it yet. So let's see how it sounds. There it goes. So you see that the gain reduction is going bananas. It's nothing wrong that the gain reduction is like 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? You already did the heavy lifting before you got to the limiter. So you're basically just, if you want to be aggressive with the song as far as loudness, this is what you would do. But if you don't want to do that much gain reduction, that's completely fine. It just depends on how the feeling of the song, you know what I'm saying? So you see my loudness is at like negative 10.5. So my sweet spot is, I like being at 12 between 10. If it goes to 9, that's perfectly fine. If it's in the 10 range, it's going to sound good as fuck in the club. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have a system or something, it's going to sound, I mean, louder is not technically better, but if you like having hard ass drums and feeling the music, then that's completely fine. You know what I'm saying? These streaming platforms want you to be at minus 14. So if I was mastering for like Spotify or some shit, I wouldn't even turn my gain. I'd probably turn my gain up like 1 dB. And my loudness should be at like 14 something. See, I'm at 15. See, I'm already at the limit that Spotify wants me at, minus 14. But I just don't like, I'm an aggressive mixer, fam. So I just don't like how that sounds. I feel like you can't really feel the drums beating the back of your head, you feel me? So I put the gain at 5. And my shit is gonna go crazy. You feel me? Obviously the streaming platform is gonna turn it down, but you have the option to turn off the algorithm shit, you feel me? Alright, cool. So we're gonna bring out the Insight plugin. And we're gonna see like we're gonna check our loudness on everything and our peaks and shit like that. Or actually, let me play through the track because I think it's some beat drops I wanted to add. Now, also on when I'm done like doing anything like crazy plugin wise, I will reorganize everything, put it back where it needs to be, and then I'll whatchamacallit, I'll freeze the plugins so that I have more power to going towards my mastering. And then I'm going to clean up some of these channels that I'm not using so that I have more space and easier for me to navigate if I need to go back to it. I already know whatever is on here, I was using. You know what I'm saying? And let me see. Let me like hide and make inactive. Hide and make inactive. So we're just cleaning our session afterwards so that, you know what I mean, we can always navigate and see what, you know what I mean? So yeah, all these are frozen. Whenever you freeze the tracks, you can't edit them. You can't, like, you can't even like delete this part. You know what I'm saying? You have to unfreeze it and then delete it and then freeze it back again. But you know what I'm saying? Over time, you just know like, all right, whenever I freeze the track, I know I'm not going to go back and take out anything. You feel me? And then also with stems, what I like to do is I'll print out the whole entire beat. And then if I want to filter out a certain section, that's actually what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably might want to have some more drops or some shit. Let me pull out beat print. Then I'm going to just mute the acapella so I could just hear the beat. You feel me? I don't want to master this entire song yet. Beat print. So these are... All right, so what I'm going to do is... I'm going to route, or actually I could just send whatever's going on here, I could just send it to beat print. Let me see, bus beat print, where are you at, my dude? Beat print, there we go. All right, pre. All right, cool. So yeah, I could just mute this shit and then, you know what I'm saying, have it as a pre-fader so that before I mute it, it's being sent to this shit. So I'm gonna just go ahead and bounce out this entire beat, and then afterwards I can add filters on certain parts, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You making beats? Now I'm mixing, fam. So yeah, I'm printing out whatever I've done to the beat, I'm printing out the whole entire shit, you know what I'm saying? And then instead of me cutting and going to the stems and cutting shit out, sometimes I just want to print out the whole beat and then I want to filter a certain section, because for some reason the automation on Pro Tools is hella ass. Like whenever I want to filter the cut at a certain point, it overlaps into the beat, so it misses the initial feeling to it. So I'm gonna just print out the whole audio track, and then with the audio track I can literally cut out a piece. I can literally cut this piece out and then like pitch it down. I can reverse it. I can put a filter on it, and it's gonna cut exactly how I wanted it cut. You feel me? So I don't have to worry about the automation that they have on Pro Tools is like super booty. So this makes sense to print out the entire song, you know what I'm saying? And then also when I'm done, I can literally select the whole entire section, duplicate it, and do a clean version. And it's all in one project. I can make a selection like, okay, this is the clean version. I'm going to select this side. It's the clean version. And then I could just go in and cut out the cuss words or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But yeah, man, I still got to order some more shit for my streaming. my streaming shit, because I'm gonna start being on Twitch, and you know what I'm saying, I'll actually save my lives on there as well. So Tom Brody, what's up, man? All right, cool. So this beat's finished. So I'm done printing out this shit. So now we got the printed beat. Now what I can do is I can go back over here and make my drums and music inactive. You know what I'm saying? And then if I want to chop the beat up, I can do that. If I want to run effectrix on top of this joint, I can do that. And then this channel is being sent to this beat channel. You know what I'm saying? And then bring my acapellas in. Ooh, I'm going like 7 right now. Oh, I think it was because I had like multiple channels running into each other. And then if you want extra headroom, bro, you can literally run and this is what I like about these safety nets, is you can run a limiter on the vocals. Like if you don't want to hit it super hard, you can run a limiter and shave off like 1 dB so that the limiter doesn't react as much. You know what I'm saying? Let me run L1 because it has like a less of a color to it. So I'm at like -8.5. I'm gonna go like 9. Yeah, Fab Filter's fire. I like that shit. Yep. So I'm shaving almost 1 dB. Alright, I'm shaving off 2 dB, so I don't really want to limit the beat because I felt like I'm gonna lose my transients. But I could run a limiter and shave off like 1 dB max, you feel me? So whenever I get to the limiter, let's see how much headroom we save. So there's like a part where the clap and snare go back together, and it pushes up to 4.5. But the general volume of these drums or the whole song is like 3 dB. You know what I'm saying? All right, I got a minute left, so I'm about to get off this shit for my vocal chain. I run a Ventec 73 2-tech. You know, man, about fire. But yeah, man, I got a minute remaining, so I'm about to get off this shit, man. If y'all got any questions on mixing or whatever, DM me. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Twitch and shit. I'm about to start streaming on there. Fuck with your boy. Oh yeah, man. If y'all need anything mixing wise, let me know. I got the analog master and shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got the bag, I'm gonna make sure your shit sound right. You feel me? But yeah, man. Fuck with me, man.